everybody, this is Amanda from Amanda's Budgets. I'm here to do a quick little video of some updates because I haven't done a video in a couple days. I figured I would, explain what is going on. I do not have an emotional support coffee this afternoon because I am going to be getting one later when I come back. I'm going to have a very long gig working day today. It's been a whirlwind the last few days. I have been ramping for this launch of tons of products. You guys only got to see half of the things that I'm coming out with here in the next couple of days. I also wanted to talk about the roof and my job because those are the things I primarily talk about on my channel, especially in the last few months. Violet, go lay down. She's wanting attention right when I'm making this video. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Amanda. I am 35 years old. I live in Oregon. I'm an all-cash budgeter. I do cash stuffing, sinking funds, savings challenges, all on a low income. If that's something you're interested in, please hit that like and subscribe button. So, this last few days, I would say 4 days, have been a whirlwind. My husband and I sealed the roof with some roof sealant because we are going over our current roof. It's very hard to explain without pictures, which I was going to post pictures, but then my husband said no, he didn't want me to. So, and I understand that for privacy and safety reasons that we shouldn't be taking pictures of our house and posting it on social media. So, the roof up there is not a proper roof. It's really not a real roof, if that makes sense to you. And there's many other things going on that I can't talk about yet because the roof is just a small portion of the things we've been going through over the last few days. But I don't want to give misinformation. However, I also don't know when some of these things are actually going to be happening or if they're happening. So I don't want to jump to conclusions and totally freak everybody out and myself out over things that we just don't know and are up in the air. So we sealed the roof and we are going to be making a frame around the roof and actually put rafters up and make it a legitimate roof. We have a contractor friend. Actually, he's the dad of my husband's childhood long best friend. He's been a contractor for, 20 years now. And this is his suggestion. He was like, it's a manufactured home. This is not a very big home. The roof is long, but it's not wide because it's a single wide. Just build a base and build the structure as if you're going to be building a brand new roof, and then we're going to put the metal roofing stuff over it. The metal roofing is a lot more expensive than I anticipated, so I am not sure that the $2,000 will be enough for all of the materials, plus the screws and the little the tubes of liquid, what in the heck is the name of that stuff? I have it on the tip of my tongue, but it's stuff that you use to adhere metal to metal, and we're going to be overlapping just a little bit on all of the metal sheeting, so that way there's no gaps or cracks or anything that water can get into. We have been doing this a lot longer than we anticipated because we've had some life events. Life events like I have to go get a thyroid ablation. If you do not know, I have hyperthyroid Graves' disease. It almost took my life about 2 years ago when I was admitted to the ICU and I was going into what's called a thyroid storm. Most people with hyperthyroid Graves' disease don't live through a thyroid storm. So it was cotton time, but I've been kind of using medication and therapies as a temporary band-aid. So I've been going to tons of appointments in the city. I actually had one this last week. I'm going to be going this upcoming week. I always can use extra gas money, so I'll leave my Cash App down below because gas is expensive and I'm going to be taking lots of trips. It's going to be Mother's Day weekend. I do not know what we're doing. I just know that I do have one of my kids for Mother's Day. They got me this cute little mom necklace last year, and I just found it in all of my budgeting stuff, which is weird because I thought it was gone forever. I don't expect gifts. This wasn't a very expensive gift. It's really super cute. It's rose gold dipped, so I can actually wear it because I can't do cheapy necklaces. I can do cheapy bracelets, and I could do like some other types of metals, but I can't wear non gold or silver on my fingers or on my neck. So that's what we're doing. We're just gonna have a low-key weekend. Hopefully we will be able to ramp up our gig working this weekend. There's a lot of confusion with my new job. I guess the three most important things that I will touch on right now, just from working this last week, are we don't really have a schedule. So no one really has a schedule, so nobody really knows when they're supposed to come in to work, which is kind of weird to me because it sounds like it's more on a day-to-day basis. And because it is a lower paying job and it paid only $1 more than my fast food job, I really need them to give me a schedule. Because number one, that's not fair to me and my family. Two, I don't want to be called, next day to come in next day by a certain time or within the hour, because I could be gig working in the city. Gig working is where I make the bulk of my income. This is supposed to be a part-time job that wasn't going to be really super stressful, that could get my foot in the door somewhere else. There's a lot of things that entail in this job that I've done before at other jobs. I have done other jobs other than fast food, just so you guys are aware. I've worked call centers. I have worked desk jobs. I've done a lot of temporary jobs doing temp work, like working for the hospital, stuff like that. But I need something legitimate on my resume to step away from the food business, because I don't want to work in food. I'm not making any money unless I'm a manager, and I don't want to be a manager. I don't want to live at my job. I lived at my last job where I was a manager, where I was working the pizza place. If you're new, I worked at a pizza place where there was only one employee. He did not know if they were hiring, which was scary to me. And I ended up becoming the store manager of that location, and I totally fixed up the whole store, and then they started treating me like garbage. I had no worth there. There was no pay increase there. There was only Amanda working a ton of overtime and really not having any time. I was working 7 days a week, and then I was gig working in the mornings. I was running myself into the ground. I literally lived off of peanut butter, in between a little tortilla and coffee for like 4 months. I kid you not. 4 months. Where I would just have grab and go food. And that's not healthy. I wasn't sleeping right. So I don't want to go back to that. That's just the gist of it. I'm not going to go back to something toxic like that. Especially when I have only so much ability to work around my schedule, if that makes sense. Especially with health and kids and all the things, I can't live at a job. I'm not a single person. I married my husband. I had to hire my husband to be a delivery driver for this company, just to have a delivery driver. So realistically, I only had 3 kids that were really on time, working all the time, and then my husband as the driver. So for a 5-person crew, 7 days a week, it wasn't working. I did eventually find more people, but that's when the company stepped in and treated me like crap. So I'm not doing that anymore. It's okay to be like, I've retired from this part of my life. I'm retired. I don't need it. And it's a running joke around here, but it's the truth. I'm not going to go back to food. I was working in food previous to this job, but then I realized why I didn't want to work for that company to begin with. And it was me going back to another company I'd worked for. A lot of the times when I say a new job and it's food, it's likely I've either worked there, or I've known somebody that worked there, or I've ran that kind of store. So it's not really new to me. This is a new job. So the scheduling thing is kind of effing with me a little bit. I also don't get a lot of training. There's not a lot of training. It's more like, here you go. That's your project for the day. Okay, well, what am I supposed to do with this project? And it's got a sheet of paper and it has things on it, but I'm like, well, how do I read this piece of paper that has like numbers and some sort of dimensions on it? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? What do they want? What kind of paper do they want it on? What are we making? I recently found out that we do tons of different products, like envelopes. We actually create and print envelopes, and that is really freaking cool. Not the type of envelopes we use, but just regular mailing envelopes. We also do like big signs for businesses. We'll do food cart signs where they have the double-sided fiberglass, which is really super cool, and they're supposed to last up to 5 years, even in nasty weather. We also do car decals, where we can decal an entirety of a car. None of this I have been trained on yet, but it's a little bit interesting because I kind of got caught up in this project, and I was trying to do it right and efficiently, and then I was told, oh, well, this is not how we're actually doing this. But then I redid the project, and it was the same way I was doing it it was the same way I was doing it originally. So it's stuff like that that's kind of irritating me. And I don't mind being micromanaged and having a boss and doing all the things, but I want to be properly trained. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be able to walk into any business and be able to know how to use their computer system. Everybody's system is totally different. Their system for their digital art for this print shop is totally different from what I've used in the past. However, there are some likings there, so I do need to mess around with that. But there really isn't any training. Another thing that is really kind of irritating to me, so not only is it the no schedule, no training, but also that our time clock is off, and we have a punch in and punch out card, like old school style, and it's like an hour off or an hour ahead, whatever the day is, and that kind of freaks me out a little bit. And I was talking to Mandy from Mandy's Budgeting Journey and Jamie's Realistic Life about this, because we both, all 3 of us, are low-income budgeters, and we're like, well, shoot, every freaking hour counts, and I'm not saying that everyone's hours don't count, but some of you guys are salary earners. I'm not. I'm an hourly earner. And not only that, but I hear that the paydays are kind of strange. So it's the 15th and the end of the month. How freaking weird is that? That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. So there are some things with this job that I'm just like, I don't think I like this. I don't know if I like these 3 things. These 3 things freak me out. Like, I'm not one of those people that want to walk into something and just not be trained and think I know everything. I don't like that, especially if I've never done it before. And the sad part about it is the reality is that we're getting to the point where our economy is strapped. Inflation is here, and it seems to be here to stay. And everybody is losing their minds, and these business owners just want to hire people and expect them to know. And that's just not how it works. It's not how it works. I've never worked at a print shop before. I've never worked at a print shop with mail attached to it. I've never done P.O. boxes before. I've had a P.O. box, but I've never signed somebody up for a P.O. box before. These are all things I had to learn in the last 4 days, and it almost felt like it was a huge inconvenience for other people to come and help me. So that's my job situation. My health situation is this. I'm going to be going to a lot of appointments. I do see what are they called? I am seeing a radiologist next week where we sit down and go through the whole plan of what is going to happen with my thyroid ablation, what it'll look like, can I be around people. I think that there's going to be 4 days where I'm not going to be able to work, and that kind of freaks me out a little bit because, it's, for me, every day is every dollar counts, so I'm really going to try to bust it out this month as much as I can on the days that I'm able to work. However, working in the middle of the day at the print shop and then having to figure out when I'm going to be gig working makes it really hard, especially with the unknown schedule. I did talk to my boss about this thyroid ablation way ahead of being hired, so hopefully they're still going to be okay with that. If they're not, there's nothing I can do about it. You guys, I've been waiting 5 years for this thyroid ablation. I don't want to admit it, but insurance sucks. They want you to die before you're gonna get paid for. Okay? They'd rather you die at home than go do a procedure that's gonna cost them money. Does that make sense? So this is something that's gonna help me not only for my future, but my overall health. I don't want to lose my state insurance over making more money and then not be able to afford health care and then I die. Because I can't not take my medication. I can't not go to the endocrinologist once or twice a month. I cannot miss a beat with any of this stuff. Your thyroid is like the computer to most of the things in your body, and if it doesn't work right, if you have hypothyroid or hyperthyroid, let me know in the comments below, because it sucks either way. But I have really, really, really bad hyperthyroid Graves' disease. Really bad. As a matter of fact, my scan came back. My thyroid is overworking itself 6 to 7 times the average person. I have enough thyroid hormone pumping through my veins to give it to 6 or 7 other people on a daily basis. So I feel like I'm working with a time bomb, and we just need to get it figured out. But yeah, those are all the things that I wanted to cover in this video. I know it's longer than I said it was going to be, but that's okay because we covered all the things. I am going to be back with the giveaway winner and we're going to do a little bit of cash stuffing in our 100 envelope challenge. I did want to let you guys know, I did add some money to this one, and I did add a few to this one as well, but mostly this one. I am not going to stress myself out over finishing this month. However, with this launch coming up, I did want to let you guys know I am really excited about it. It is the one thing that I've been looking forward to for the last probably two and a half weeks since I've been talking to Mandy about, doing this surprise that we're coming up with. So do what you can with what you got, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.